Hello, welcome to CEAZOR Snack Sandwich. Today I'm going to take a quick look at iZUMi or iZUMi. I think it's iZUMi. iZUMi is a pretty interesting thing. It's like liquidity mining for Uniswap version 3 liquidity pairs. Now that's pretty interesting. It's on Arbitrum, Polygon, and Ethereum. There's not a whole lot of like opportunity here right now, but the idea is pretty interesting, and I'd like to cover it and explain what their system is doing for people, for projects, and so forth. So basically, this would be a place where you would come and you would be able to supply some tokens to a liquidity pair and earn some rewards that a project wants to give you. So currently right now they are just burring out these iZUMi tokens, which is their iZUMi governance type token. I didn't really look too deep into this iZ token and read the tokenomics and what this token does. So I'm going to skip over that today, and if you want to know what this iZ token does, you can check into it yourself. I'm going to explain to you what these options here are and how they work. So let's go over to let's go to Uniswap and talk a little bit about what is version 3 and so forth. So for those people who don't know, if you do know all about this, then I guess you can skip ahead to the next part. But basically Uniswap version 3 allows you to select two tokens, and instead of providing liquidity from 0 to infinity, and your tokens are sitting like basically all along the line and most of them are not being utilized, you can decrease the range of the token prices versus each other that you're willing to provide liquidity to, and then you get a lot more trading fees on your tokens because it's called concentrated liquidity. So if I put like say 29 here, I don't know why it keeps jumping back. Anyways, you get the idea. So I can close the range here and reduce the amount of exposure to other token prices. However, there is some risk here, like if the token price goes up outside of the range, then you basically end up holding only one token. You get impermanent loss to the maximum, and then you also stop getting trading fees. So these things need to be managed. You need to close the position, sometimes reopen it or adjust the price ranges and so forth. So back over to iZUMi. iZUMi doesn't talk about being able to do this automatically for you, but it is in the roadmap for the future where they will manage the liquidity. But there are also many other projects out there that already claim to be able to do this for you, and I've talked about them in the past and so forth. Like this Popsicle Finance was doing that for a while. I'm not sure if they're still doing it. I'm pretty sure they are. But anyhow, so Uniswap version 3, you can provide liquidity and choose two tokens and adjust the range. So I'm going to go through the docs here and talk about these things and just quickly mention, very quickly mention the concept of these. Okay, so they have the concentrated liquidity mining model. So what you can do as a project is you can open a farm that is a concentrated liquidity mining model, which would be one of these, I guess, which happens to look maybe fixed range. And basically what you would do is you would say, if people provide liquidity within these two range points, like maybe $10 and $100 or whatever, $10 and $20, then they will be eligible for your reward token, so maybe your governance token. So they basically, if they're providing liquidity out here, this amount of US dollar value or quantity of tokens will not be added to the math that gets them some tokens. So it's basically incentivizing people to provide concentrated liquidity into a single pair, into a single range, right? Which is interesting. So if we move down, we have the next one that says one-sided in non-impermanent loss mining model. Now this is interesting, okay? I asked in the Discord for some more information about this, and I did not get a response. I waited for a little while, but I didn't get a response. So this one's a little bit foggy on me, but I do understand one part, okay? So if you provide liquidity in the Uniswap version 2, which is 0 to infinity, then every time your token price of say XYZ goes up in value, then you sell a little bit of it to USDC so that the US dollar value of each token will be 50-50. But what they're saying here is you can provide liquidity just on the USDC side of the current price, and then the token that you have doesn't actually go into the liquidity pool and sits in the staking contract. So I guess as this price were to go down, then it would pull out some more, and as this price were to go up, then I guess it would, I'm not exactly sure what it would do then, but I think the idea here is that like people can provide these two tokens to this liquidity pool, but they won't get impermanent loss on the token because it won't actually be provided to the liquidity pool. I don't understand how this works because to me, if this token is not put in the liquidity pool, then you're not actually providing useful trading, right? Because people are not able to actually buy your tokens or sell to you, right? But I guess they can sell to you as the price goes down. You can pick up more and more and more, and maybe they will pull them out and put them into the staking contract or something. So anyways, that's that one, okay? I find it's interesting. So next one, active interval mining. So I'm going to read this to you. It says, counting the time they are active in providing effective liquidity. So that kind of is kind of like this, but if the price is maybe let's say you provide liquidity for a larger range and the price moves outside of this range, but you are still providing some liquidity. So it's basically, as long as the price is inside your range, then you get incentivization, which is interesting because then it requires people to like speculate on what the prices are and so forth. So this one's interesting. Additional rewards proportional to trading fees. So trading fees kind of also mirror this, right? Like if you are inside the pool and your range is active and people are trading, then you are gaining trading fees. So the idea, they're very similar in the sense like this is basically, is the price in your range? And this is, are you getting trading fees? But in order for you to get trading fees, the price must be in your range and there must be trading being done. Now there is some talk in here about how they mitigate the idea of wash trading and so forth. So you can come in and read this carefully and try to understand it. And the last one is one-sided mining with a lockup period for short put options. So basically you can come with, like in this case, the USDC, and you can just put it below the current price, right? Below the current price range. And you'll lock it for 30 days. And if the price goes down into this range, then these USDCs basically become like buying, like limit order buys. So as the price goes down inside, you buy. Your USDC will buy that token and bring the price, like kind of slow the price down from its falling price action. Okay. Now, that's pretty much covers those liquidity box options, those things that they can provide for you there. However, I do want to talk about this part here. So in order to participate in iZUMi, it's not permissionless. You have to email, you have to set up a form here, and then they will contact you. And then you have to pay them $10,000 worth of iZ tokens. So you have to buy these iZ tokens and give it to them. And then they do say it's free until the end of January, but this time it's gone, right? So you have to pay them $10,000 to get these iZ tokens, or get these iZ tokens, $10,000, and pay them. And then after the payment is submitted, you they'll talk to you and help you to set up like, the price ranges and the product that best suits your needs and so forth. Now I find this to be a little bit strange, like protocol. This is kind of like, Web 2.0, like, oh, pay us and then we will do this project for you. But like, I would think they would just put some fees somewhere, just instead of upfront charging projects to take part in this, they should just be like, oh, you can permissionlessly use this, and then, we will just charge a fee for kind of managing or running the protocol, or just because it's our protocol and we built it. Okay, so that's pretty much it for iZUMi right now. I think it's pretty interesting. I don't know, like I said, I'm not going to look into the iZ token. I do see they have VE iZ tokens, so they do have a lockup time, and based on that, they probably do have some fees that will go into those VEIZ unless it's purely inflation. But anyways, you can come in, check this out more, and look into it and see if this is something you or your project would be interested in using. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.